Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Welcome. Master of the Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. Sisters and brothers, everything is serious. This is a very serious point that I'm going to address today. Don't keep it short, but it's a very serious point. Mockery. See, we just come through a 50,000-year process, and it wasn't a joke. It was serious. The last 500 to 600 years has been totally serious. I mean, serious to death. Our sisters suffered mightily, and we didn't protect them. We suffered mightily also, but not as much as them. A 50,000-year process. Slavery, suffering, deportation, we was thrown out of our land. All these things we suffered. And it came down to the last 500 years, total suffering beyond imagination. Very serious. This is very serious stuff, brothers and sisters. And then we get Master Farad Muhammad. His father spent a fortune preparing him to go find us. A fortune. Not just a fortune in money, but a fortune in time and energy, preparing his mother to have him. He said he had to be prepared. So a lot of thought and energy had to go into this process. To make him a made God, it's hard enough to make him a natural God. Made him a made God for the specific purpose of fulfilling an agreement, a covenant made 50,000 years ago with Abraham, some people call Dr. Shabazz. This is serious. People have died. Millions of our people have died in this process to get us here. And then Master Prophet Muhammad's father went through all the time and trouble. And again, he spent a fortune. See, just to get the information, the knowledge, the wisdom from the other scientists to prepare his son for what? To come to find us. This is what his father was on his mind. His father loved us so much, and he kept his word that he was going to make sure that somebody to keep that agreement, to fulfill that agreement, that covenant that was made. So he sent his son, his only son, in here to find us. So he searched the world for us. He wasn't playing. He neither sleeps nor slumber. Do you know what it takes to prepare someone to be like that? So he came here and he found us here in a terrible condition, and he wept over it. Because he loves us. He's our brother. And so he went on to search for someone to stand for us. Someone that was able and capable and that willing to stand for us in this absence while he go prepare a place for us, the promised land. So he finds Elijah and raises him up. Finding from nothing. Elijah Muhammad wasn't a wealthy man. He wasn't even a healthy man. He took and raised this man up. He wasn't an educated man. But he was a dedicated man, and he gave his word, he kept it. And that's what inspired Master Prophet Muhammad to make him his messenger, because that's not a light thing. When you make someone a messenger prophet, that means they all in 100%. Nothing else matters anymore. That's all they do, 24/7. They give their life. Many prophets and messengers gave their life for the cause. Prophet Muhammad was almost slaughtered in a war, wounded severely, nearly to death, putting his life on the line to get that message across because he was Allah's messenger. So here's Elijah Muhammad all by himself, had to go toe-to-toe with this beast. Toe-to-toe with this beast that was hanging people for fun during that time. Hanging black folks for fun during that time. Elijah Muhammad stand up, calling them devils and going toe-to-toe with them by himself. He wasn't playing. He wasn't taking vacations. He wasn't doing selfies. He was going toe-to-toe with his beast all by himself. He had people that Master Prophet Muhammad left, but most of them turned on him, and they was chasing around for 7 years, trying to kill him. He went to prison. He suffered all types of things to get this message, to set this thing up, to prepare the way, of course, for Lazarus, the true seed of Abraham, for that birth of that nation. Because Master Prophet Muhammad impregnated the nation, and Elijah Muhammad, he took and he monitored the womb. He was a caretaker of the womb for 40 some years. He was on his post. He didn't blink an eye. He didn't take a break. He was all in 100%. And the FOI he raised was all in. They didn't take a break. They worked 24/7. They were soldiers fighting. Many of those FOI died fighting to support Elijah Muhammad. Many of them died. Many put their lives on the line. Many ended up in prison, fighting for this cause, for this process that Dr. Shabazz started 50,000 years ago. Nobody's playing any damn games. And then here comes Farrakhan, set by the government to try to destroy all of that. He was successful to a point. But then come Suleiman. See? He has to pick up the banner. And it says he would look like he was slain from the foundation of the earth. It didn't say he would look like he was out there on the beach playing. He was sitting around here doing selfies, social media. Look like he was slain from the foundation of the earth. It says no one could do that but him. So he had to put all in. He was all in from the beginning to the end. That's why they call him a sacrificial lamb, because he sacrificed everything to get this message to you. So the bottom line is it will not be mocked. The angel will not be mocked. We're not playing games. These so-called come into, I'm an angel warrior. You full of shit. You ain't no angel warrior because you ain't keeping up with this. You ain't wall in. You come and do a couple little videos, now you sit back and party and do whatever the hell you doing. Talking about you a war. You're not having no part of this. I'm telling you this because I'm off of that social media. Oh man, that Facebook stuff, because that's that Facebook mentality. So they think it's like some kind of social club or something. I mean, all of it is bad. YouTube, all of it is bad. But that's why people are. But Facebook is the worst. You ain't no warrior. You tell me, you read the Injil, it tells you that we're at war. It tells you who our enemies are. It tells you they're working against us 24/7. It tells us that they're trying to destroy us, abort this nation. You know that they're aborting our people. And then you telling me that you understand all that, and then you sitting around here with your thumb up your ass talking about, I'm an angel warrior, you do a couple of videos, and you sit back and talk on this bullshit? When it gives you information to be a prophet, but you want to be a half-ass one, sometime a prophet, you doing this, taking all this other kind of stuff, you still got your feet stuck in the mess, in the devil's reality. So I just want everybody to know, I'm standing alone. So anybody tell me they representing me, they're not representing me, because all they're doing is casting doubt, making a mockery of the Injil. Because too much sacrifice and blood and sweat has been lost, been spent in this cause. Elijah Muhammad literally laid his life down for this. If Master Muhammad had took him, they was about to kill him. It tells you they was plotting against him. And he wasn't fazed at all. He stood up all the way to the end. So I want everyone to know you're not going to make a mockery of this, so you're not associated with this. Because if you're not 100%, if you're not a warrior on the battlefield fighting 24/7, you have nothing to do with this. So anybody tell you they have something to do with this, they do not. If they're not on the battlefield 24/7 kicking ass, they have nothing to do with this. Because it says that you have the least will be greater than Elijah. So if you ain't doing the works of Elijah, then you're not even part of it. Because it said the very least in the hereafter will be greater than that. And you ain't nowhere near that. So you're making a mockery of this. They look at you, oh, he's talking about it's a war. He's saying it's a war. We at war. And these are the enemies. Oh, man, I got to go take a vacation. What? Are you serious? Is that the way Elijah Muhammad rolls? Is that the way you see me doing it? This is serious business, brothers and sisters. And I'm not talking against the sisters. The sisters been words all the time, and I'm never going to speak against the sisters. That's the demon sister. That's another thing altogether. But you're making a mockery of this because you're saying you don't represent it. You're saying one thing, but you're doing another. You're showing that, oh, you're telling people we're at war, but you're heading towards Disneyland. Make one little video and bam, or maybe two, and then eight. And that's it. What are you doing in the background? Are you 24/7? Are you studying? Because if you ain't out there preaching and spreading the word, you should be studying so you can reinforce your preaching and spreading the word. It should be 24/7. Even FOI and Elijah Muhammad understood that. They was 24/7. They didn't take a break. So I want everybody to understand that. You're not going to make a mockery of the angel. It's too much into it. I've been holding my peace on this for quite a while. See? I shouldn't have. But I said a while back, no more lamb, now lion. See? And you got to shake that tree. And I've already shook loose some dead weight. Because the point is that you were a true believer, no one can shake you out of that tree. It's impossible. If you're a true believer, no one can shake you loose. You're going to hold on no matter what because you're a true believer, because you're not going to commit suicide. If you know that the ark is the only salvation, then everybody's going to get you off that ark. They can talk to you, call you names, everything else. You're going to hold on to it because you know the alternative is death. That's what you believe. The alternative is drowning. If you truly believe that, but if you don't believe that, then yeah, they may hurt my feelings, but in hell with that, man. I'm going someplace else. They can go build the ark by themselves. See, because you never believed to begin with. Like I said, if you was with me, you would have stayed with me to the end. That's what the scriptures say. So I don't worry about them because I'm going to keep shaking that tree. I'm going to keep shaking that tree. See? Because every time people come around me over the years, I always shake that tree. After a while, I shake that tree and find out who's loose, what's the positive fruit and what's the rotten fruit. And they fall. Sometimes you have to shake it very hard. See? Sometimes you have to shake a little harder. See? But if they ain't for real, they're going to, see? Because it's hard to hold on, see, to this tree when you're holding on to the master's tree too. Trying to hold on to both of them. No, you got to hold on both hands on this one. And if you're a true believer, there's nothing I can do to shake you off. You're going to hold on no matter what. You see? So I hope you understand, brothers and sisters, you're not going to make a mockery of the angel. So anybody claims to stand with me, they're not standing with me unless they're 100% all in. And then I'll be the one that makes that determination whether they can consider themselves standing with me. Because it's too much blood and sweat and tears and suffering of our own people. And then the investment Master Muhammad's father made to come and set this up to get the womb going, and the investment Elijah Muhammad made, and what I had to do to get this angel to you. And then you're going to sit around talking bullshit, hanging around with people that's against this. argue with me about stuff that don't make no sense. No, I'm not going to do that. This, if you're not 100% behind this, get out the way, because we're going to run all over you. If you're not part of the rock that's going to crush everything, then you're part of what's being crushed. You're not going to make a mockery of the angel. That's why one reason I'm off Facebook, because that was a whole mockery situation. Because nobody took anybody serious over there. It was just one of those little groups. Nobody took anybody serious over there. One of the little groups. Because they talking this stuff. They talking the talk, but they ain't walking the walk. Because nobody was walking the walk. They was talking the talk, but they wasn't walking the walk. That's hypocritical. I went along for a while because people need to grow. When somebody comes along like a baby, you can't feed baby meat. So I said, because I was going along very nicely by myself. And then people say, oh, hey, man, I'm interested. Can I get, so okay, you're a baby. So I work with you. I nurse you. I feed, eat stuff. But a year later, you're still in diapers. See? You're still not toilet trained. You still ask for milk. You still want to be breastfed. And I just waited too long messing with that nonsense. Because I was very happy. Did I look like I was unhappy going along? I was going along. I was very happy doing that. Because I know the end result. Because I wasn't really going alone. Because 145,000, they're saying they're working in the background. They're raising up in the background, if you understand Ezekiel. But you understand scriptures because you're not studying anything. There should be prophets among our people everywhere, because you got the book to teach you how to be a prophet. You want to go and get you a bachelor's degree, you could be a prophet. That's one of the greatest things to be right now. This time in history, this is our time to make your mark. Your name be written down in history. You could be a prophet. The first time we be given a book that you can make you a prophet, you can sit down and study, become a prophet, and put in 107 and be a warrior on the battlefield. Make your name for yourself, but you ain't doing any of that. And we're not going to have Negroville here, because that's what it's come down to. And so that's associated with this. So people associate with that. Say, wait, if they act like that, then Israel must not be very much to that either. I represent it. So look at me. Don't look at anybody else. Look at me. And if I falter, then that's on me. But I'm giving 100%, have to give 100%, and we'll continue to give 100%, because the time, we right now, we're at the door. See? Master Muhammad's going to make his move any day. And then it's going to be a whole new story then, brothers and sisters. Whole new world. This reality will crumble so fast. And then you'll be in our reality. What are you going to do then? See, all that stuff, yeah, but you think you're protected from Satan. You think Satan is protecting you right now. But Satan his protection is about to evaporate. And then you're in our world. That's the judgment. Then what then? What BS you going to be saying then? What excuses you going to have then? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters, you will not mock the angel. You will not mock it. I hold my peace too long. I should never divert it to begin with. I should stay on course. That's on me. That's on me. But I love my people. And I thought if there was some that was interested and serious, right? I gave them what they need to advance themselves to be prophets, to make a mark for themselves. Because that angel, that's what it does. If you study, it teaches you how to be a prophet. But then you got to stand up and be like Elijah Muhammad. You can't be no one-time selfie prophet, some cheerleader prophet. Once you make that commitment, you all in 100%. Can you do that? No, 90% of you can't do it. Maybe none of you can do it. It says only 145,000 can make that kind of commitment. But it says Suleiman, he'd be the first to do it. He set the stage. You see? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. You're not going to make a mockery of the angel. I'm going to leave it there. Assalamu alaikum.